Welcome to today's lecture on managing the first stage of labor. We will explore definitions, stages, monitoring techniques, and management strategies to ensure the best outcomes for both mother and baby. Labor is characterized by regular uterine contractions that lead to cervical change and effacement. Understanding this definition is crucial to guide appropriate management. Labor is divided into 4 stages. The first stage includes both latent and active phases of labor where contractions lead to cervical effacement and dilation. Once the cervix is fully dilated, the second stage of labor begins and ends with the delivery of the baby. The third stage of labor is the time from delivery of the baby to delivery of the placenta. The fourth stage of labor is the first 4 hours of postpartum time. Recognizing which phase of labor a patient is in helps guide management decisions effectively. During the latent phase, patients may experience mild and irregular contractions that can last several hours or even more than 24 hours. In contrast, during the active phase, contractions are stronger and regular, indicating that labor is progressing. Friedman's curve of labor represents the typical pattern of labor progression. It divides labor into 2 main phases: the latent phase, where cervical dilation is slow, and the active phase, where dilation progresses more rapidly from 4 to 10 centimeters. This curve was historically used to guide labor management, with interventions like oxytocin or cesarean delivery introduced if labor progress slowed or stopped. Labor which is not progressing normally is called labor dystocia. However, subsequent research shows that labor often progresses more slowly than Friedman's original observations. Current guidelines, such as those from the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists and the World Health Organization, now emphasize individualized assessment and discourage unnecessary interventions while still ensuring that the mother and baby are well. We will now discuss a case study. You are assessing a 22-year-old G.1 at 39 weeks gestational age. She is having mild contractions every 5 minutes that last 20 seconds. She is otherwise healthy with no significant medical history. What stage of labor is she presenting in? It is not possible to know for sure the stage of labor without assessing cervical dilation. But she is likely in the latent phase of the first stage of labor given the mild irregular contractions. You should also always assess maternal vitals, fetal heart rate, and cervical dilation to confirm latent labor and vertex presentation and rule out complications. During labor, a thorough physical examination is important. You must assess maternal vitals including blood pressure, heart rate and temperature, and if possible, oxygen saturations. Next, you want to complete an abdominal exam with Leopold's maneuvers to assess fetal lie and presentation. You then have to complete a vaginal exam to assess the cervix for dilation, effacement, fetal station, and to confirm vertex presentation. This image illustrates the 4 steps of Leopold's maneuvers, which are a systematic abdominal examination used to determine the position, presentation, and engagement of the fetus during pregnancy. The partogram is an important tool in labor management. Changes in cervical dilation over time are plotted on a graph. This allows healthcare providers to visualize labor progress and make informed decisions based on established criteria for normal labor progress. Maternal vital signs and the fetal heart rate are also documented, allowing caregivers to see trends. It is an important tool for documentation and for sharing information among caregivers, especially on a busy maternity ward. We will discuss the WHO modified partogram, which is still used in some centers, and the WHO Labor Care Guide introduced in 2020. This is the WHO modified partogram. It tracks labor progress along with maternal and fetal well-being. It has sections for cervical dilation and fetal station, which are marked by alert and action lines to identify delays in labor progress. Fetal monitoring includes heart rate and amniotic fluid status, which are also recorded. Maternal monitoring noted on the partogram includes vital signs and contractions. The section where time is charted on the horizontal axis and dilation plus station is charted on the vertical axis, divided into 3 zones. The zone to the left of the alert line, which is shown in green here, is normal labor progress. The alert zone, which is between the 2 diagonal lines, is shown in yellow, and the action zone, which is to the right of the action line, is shown in red. The green zone indicates normal progress in labor. In this zone, it is important to provide support, encourage ambulation, and ensure hydration while regularly evaluating maternal and fetal well-being. The alert zone signals potential concerns in labor progress or maternal or fetal well-being. Clinicians should evaluate contraction patterns closely and consider interventions if labor progress is stalling or there are fetal or maternal concerns that require expedited labor progress. The action zone indicates a need for urgent action if there is no cervical change despite adequate contractions. You should be preparing for possible patient transfer or to complete delivery by cesarean section or assisted vaginal birth. The WHO introduced the Labor Care Guide in 2020 for use in place of the partogram. Many centers have adopted it. There will be a separate lesson introducing you to use of the Labor Care Guide. Here we briefly explain the aims of the WHO and the major differences. The Labor Care Guide was developed to guide obstetric caregivers in providing care that is of good quality and based on evidence while avoiding unnecessary interventions. It is meant to assist health personnel to promptly identify and act on complications that arise in labor. It aims to improve the experience women have during childbirth by guiding health personnel to offer supportive care throughout labor. Let's return to our case study of the 22-year-old at 39 weeks gestational age who presents with mild contractions every 5 minutes for the last 3 hours. What would you do next for the evaluation of this patient? A thorough physical examination is important in assessing labor progress. Vital signs provide information about maternal stability, while abdominal and cervical examinations help determine fetal position and cervical changes. You examine the patient and find her vital signs are normal. Auscultation of the fetal heart rate demonstrates a normal baseline. Abdominal exam demonstrates a vertex fetus with descent 3/5. Cervical exam demonstrates that the patient is 2 centimeters dilated and 50% effaced. In this case, we have initial findings indicating latent labor. With early labor in a prima gravida, the best option is for expectant management given that the exam demonstrated a mother with normal vital signs and a normal fetal assessment. Expectant management involves educating the patient about signs of active labor and when to return. Discuss monitoring of the fetus and maternal condition until active labor develops. Suggestions for coping with the discomfort can also be offered. In most cases, the patient does not need to be admitted while in latent labor. A partogram is not started until labor is active. Once a patient enters the active phase of labor, admission for monitoring and support is appropriate. Labor care guide or partogram documentation should begin. In active labor, monitor the maternal vitals approximately every 2 to 4 hours if everything is progressing well. The fetal heart rate should be monitored by intermittent auscultation for an uncomplicated pregnancy and spontaneous labor. Cervical dilation should be assessed every 2 to 4 hours, and sooner if indicated. The active stage of labor should progress approximately 0.5 centimeters per hour in a prima gravida and 1 centimeter or more per hour in a Paris patient. Pain management options and coping strategies should be discussed. Ambulation and position changes should be encouraged. Once the patient is admitted in active labor, monitoring of labor progress begins. The normal progress of labor can be affected by both maternal and fetal factors. One way to think of these critical factors is the 4 Ps. Consider these 4 factors if trying to determine why a patient's labor is not progressing. The 4 Ps include power, passenger, passage, and psyche. Power refers to adequate uterine contractions that are necessary for cervical dilation. Passenger refers to the fetus and fetal position and presentation that can affect descent through the birth canal. Passage refers to the maternal pelvis. The size and shape of the pelvis can also affect descent. Lastly, psyche refers to the maternal emotional state, which can have a significant impact on labor progress. Understanding these elements helps healthcare providers anticipate potential complications during labor and how to address them. Assessing contraction adequacy is part of active labor management. Contraction strength is assessed by feeling if the uterus is hard or firm in the middle of the contraction. Contractions causing labor to progress usually last 45 to 60 seconds. 4 to 5 contractions should be occurring in 10 minutes. With adequate contractions, the cervix should dilate 2 or more centimeters in 4 hours. Meeting these criteria indicates that labor is progressing normally. If labor is not progressing and contractions are not as strong, long, or frequent as described here, then augmenting labor can help progress. A common complications of the first stage of labor is failure to progress during the active phase. This requires careful assessment looking for the cause. The cause will determine is augmentation or cesarean delivery is appropriate. C-section is indicated in the case of labor dystocia with adequate contractions. Labor dystocia is defined as no progress in 4 hours once in the active phase of labor or no progress in 2 hours during the second stage of labor. We will discuss the second stage of labor in more detail in another lecture. Emotional support plays a critical role during labor. If the patient feels well supported during her labor by a friend or family member or the healthcare provider, there is good evidence that labor progress is better, and the patient needs less pain management. By helping reduce anxiety in the mother, she is able to develop better coping mechanisms during painful contractions and feel more comfortable throughout the labor. Effective communication between healthcare providers, patients, and their families fosters a supportive environment conducive to positive outcomes during childbirth. In summary, labor management should focus on systematic tracking of the labor progress using a partogram to ensuring maternal and fetal safety through timely intervention.